So here's my results on trying to cut out a t-shirt sized on felt for doing beadwork. I used the setting felt with more pressure, and I used the rotary blade. And what we are trying to do is cut out material to make little pink shirts or orange shirts. So okay, here we go. I can see the outline there, and ooh, it looks like it's working. Okay, and I put down a piece of transfer tape sticky side up so that I wouldn't get felt pieces all over my board. And looks like it's just stuck a teeny bit in each corner here, so I can finish cutting that out. But this was a thicker felt, and yeah, it seems to work. So, yay. You know how many of these I cut out by hand? Lots. This is going to be great. Okay. Okay, so continuing on with my cutting tools on felt. Now that I've done the black using the rotary blade, I am going to try it on the pink that I have, but using the other setting they had there. I think it was fine point blade. And then I'm also going to try it on the Flexi Firm. Now this, even though it looks thinner, it is actually firmer, so we will give it a shot, whereas the felt is easier to bend. Okay, so now I'm using the stiff felt option. They only gave me the choice of using the fine point blade, and I used the more pressure. So we will see how it cuts differently than the rotary. That was fast. Alright, let me take a look. I can see the imprint. Oh, but I put my tape down too low. Darn it. And I moved my pattern down too, but oh well. This is just going to give us an idea if this works or not. So, ha! So not even close. I had the fine point blade on the more pressure setting, and like, let's go with the part that didn't have the tape on it. Not even close to being able to cut this. That's unfortunate. So I guess using the rotary blade is the way to go. I don't see how it'll work on my Flexi Firm, but what I could try is doing a couple passes on it maybe. Okay, so this time I made 3 layers and ran it through twice, and it's not strong enough. So that fine point blade just does not work. So I'm gonna have to find a setting that uses the rotary blade. Obviously the regular felt one gave me that option, but the stiff one didn't. But I'm gonna see what other options there might be. Okay, here we go. I've found genuine leather setting. I'm just going to use it on default, being that felt is not as hard as leather. And it's the deep point blade I've got in here. So let's go. So here we go. Oh yeah, look. Haha, it worked. It looks a little frayed on the edges, like the cut is not as clean. It's just stuck on this one corner here, but I don't know if you can see. The cut is, well, actually it's not too bad, but there's a little bit of frayness as opposed to the rotary blade, which really just came out perfect. I think these two are the same thickness. So in conclusion, I mean, I actually feel like the red one feels a little thicker. I bought stiff felt for both of these, but it's possible the red one could be slightly thicker. But in conclusion, I would definitely say that the rotary blade is the way to go if you have one. Okay, now I'm using the knife blade on medium garment leather. I was the only one that would give me the option to choose the knife blade. So we will see if this will work. Okay, so that was also a fail. It wanted to do 4 passes, so it did do 4 passes, and even with 4 passes, this knife blade did not cut through, but yet it starts to pull up the fabric. And this is the same, the felt, it's the same thing it did for my cardboard, which I will post in a separate video because that was terrible. That new chipboard that they have, it did the same thing there. And so, yeah, it's definitely not working. So let me show you the settings I had. Okay, again, that was setting the material to medium garment leather. I just did the default pressure, but maybe I should have done more, but I honestly don't think it's going to work because it, like if you see my chipboard demo, after 5 hours, and it was only on pass 5 out of 12, it was just terrible condition, and it was ripping everything up, and yeah. So anyways, yeah, it says you can't see what it says, but that was the knife blade. So yeah, that was a fail. Okay, here we go. We're going to do the exact same cut as on the pink felt, but this is called Flexi Firm. It's a little bit firmer of a material, and we are using the deep blade on the genuine leather setting with more pressure. Also, one thing I forgot to mention when I was using the knife blade attempt, which was a total fail, it did 4 passes and it takes a long time. Like, just for this one little item probably took like 10 minutes, and if I wanted to do like a whole sheet of these to cut out these for students, it would have taken too long. See, that one's already done, the deep point blade. All right, let's see on the Flexi Firm. Look at that again, and for some reason, the same as on that other one, gets stuck in this one little corner here, but it works pretty much. You just have to make one little snip here, and hooray. So again, in conclusion, rotary blades seem to work best. The deep point blade worked good, and the knife blade terrible. All right, okay, hope this helps you people from having to do your own demos. Although I do quickly want to mention, maybe try it on the default setting, because I do notice that it cut deep enough to go into my mat here. So just try and use the default setting, which I'll do on my next attempt. But yeah, it looks like it cut into my board. Darn it. Okay, I'm going to do another felt test on black, and this time I'm trying it on felt, on rotary blade, but I've duplicated my image and centered it so they're identical, so it should cut twice, because I was having trouble with, it did 1 pass, and I'm doing a flower shape this time, and it didn't cut all the way through. So I want to see if it will work now. was one cut. Now it's doing the second cut. I duplicated the image, then centered it, then attached the two so that it would do two cuts. Alright, let's see. Interesting, it still doesn't go through all the way. But it is better. Looks like it's a little bit better than the one where I only had one pass. It didn't go through much at all. A lot less. So maybe if I try this setting but on more pressure, we'll have better luck. Okay, I just redid it again, exact same, with the rotary blade, more pressure. And honestly, and this is with the image duplicated, so it's doing two passes. Honestly, it's about the same whether I had more pressure or not. But I did notice, I wish I could put this phone somewhere so that I could show you with having two hands, I'm actually able to rip out this shape. Oh, I was able to just rip it out. Like if you just kind of take a faster motion, it will come out all in one piece. So that's pretty good. So I did try this on the deep point blade again. Although I had good success with the t-shirt shape, I did not have any success with this shape here. So the rotary blade continues to be the way to go for felt pieces. Actually, correction, when I did the deep point blade, it didn't work, and the reason why it didn't work is because the fabric kept bunching up and then it wouldn't continue going. It would do the error message. Despite having this taped down on top of a sticky mat, the fabric sticky mat, it was, you know, bunching up like this, and then of course it couldn't work properly. So I just never bothered trying after that and just went back to the rotary blade. And you could waste way less fabric if you made your template with the t-shirts all together and did a whole bunch of t-shirts at once.